Josh Widdicombe. This is Saturday morning. Coming up in the show, let's do that even before we introduce producer Neil. We have Ed Gamble, Iain Stirling, two debutantes, and we have possibly the last ever... shall I say conclusion? I'll say conclusion to Neil Aid. Good morning, Neil.
Good morning, Josh.
Excited, right, Neil Aid coming to an end? Well, don't. Let's keep our powder dry on that one.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good. You had your hair cut?
I did. I had it done last weekend, so it's had a week to bed in. It was cut by an Italian man who didn't speak any English.
Oh. Did you go to... You didn't go to Naples for the...
No.
The best haircut in Europe. It's not bad, but I certainly wouldn't say it's the best haircut in Europe.
I thought you were talking about my haircut.
I was talking about your haircut.
No, right now on my head.
What?
I thought you meant as in Naples were world-renowned
for doing
the best haircuts.
No, I was saying you've got the best hair... Shall we move on from that?
We probably should,
because, I mean, we've got off to a flyer.
Yeah.
What I like is, how much was your haircut?
£7.50.
In 2014?
Well, that's why I went there. It was meant to be £9.50, but he couldn't read English very well either, and he charged me £7.50.
I used to go to a barber's when I was a child called Brimston's in Newton Abbot. Do email Josh at xfm.co.uk if you went there and you want to give it a shout out at any other business. And they used to have topless calendars on the wall of women. Yeah. And so they'd say, look that way, and you go, too right, I will.
I already am.
Already am, mate. You'd end up with half a haircut. I think that's what happened to Neymar.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Josh Widdicombe, Saturday morning, XFM. Producer Neil, now we come to the point. This is the start of the show, essentially. Any other business, which I'm saying faster and faster, any other business in which our listeners email to pick us up on pedantic points they had with previous shows, and you will either uphold with this sound or deny with this sound.
Rejected.
Now, how would you say your harshness is at the moment?
Fair to middling,
yeah. You were too easy, and then you got a bit harsh, and I think you're evening out now. So there's 3 here. I'm anticipating a 2-1 in either direction. Did you know that if you type the word producer into Google, the first thing it suggests is producer Neil XFM? No. Oh. Hope that this makes producer Neilio, Neilio. I don't know whether that's a typo or whether they've given you a...
It's like South American.
Yeah, I mean, you could get the Brazil team, old Neilio. I hope this makes producer Neilio feel special, as he now clearly has made it H. That's definitely a typo. They're having a night. I mean, this is very poor. However, if you type in Josh, Mr. Widdicombe is not even in the top 4. Now, I accept that. I don't dispute that. However, if you do put producer into Google, I mean, either I've got a different version of Google, or it's not even in the top 4 from what... Have you found that in Turn Charles? What?
He's not there.
He's not there. You get producer surplus... and I'm a massive fan of his work. Producer plants, producers and consumers, and producer science.
Well, this is it. I think it's got more to do perhaps with the cookies. So this was from Stuart. So I think it's what else Stuart has looked at on his computer. So if he's gone to XFM, then types in later on.
It's like, did you know, do you remember there was that story about the Conservative, he was a councillor or MP or something, and he took a screen grab of a Labour Party website that had like an advert for like Asian babes or something on it. And he was like, is this what you want to be advertising on your website? And they were like, oh, that's not our adverts, it just responds to what you've previously been Googling. Oh, brilliant times. So you think Stuart's cookie, so he's been Googling you a lot?
Oh no, I think he's been Googling perhaps XFM or XFM related stuff, and it's just come round to it.
I think he's been image searching producer Neil again and again. No? Well, Stuart, from elsewhere, we're going to have to reject.
Rejected.
Oh, but what annoys me is that he hasn't been Googling me, clearly, because that doesn't come up. Anyway, dear Josh, I also have come to know Rio as the gold standard of fizzy drinks, but I've only managed to get hold of it in chicken shops.
This obviously relates to last week.
Last week when I said Rio, the thinking man's lilt, was my favourite fizzy drink. I stand by it. In fact, I had one this week. And I worried when I was drinking it that if someone had been listening to the radio show and they'd walk past me, they'd be like, oh, have a day off, mate. We get it. My choice is slated many times by my friends who insist on me being a soft drink elitist. But it is... It's one thing you don't want to be. But it isn't my fault. They have bad taste. Open brackets. Yes, I'm talking to you, Simon. Closed brackets. Simon's in capitals. Many regards. Jakob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jakob.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so far they're not typical any other business. They're just any other trivia, really. But I agree with Jakob. Very much so. It remains my favourite soft drink. Did we discuss my second place? Orangina.
I think we did, yeah.
We did, yeah. So...
I'm going to uphold this.
Although you can get it in other newsagents. Like, there's certain newsagents.
Is there?
You know when you go into a newsagent and you think, this is probably a front for something else. Often they've got Rio.
Yeah, I'm going to uphold.
Okay. Josh, I have recently started listening to your podcast. Too little, too late, mate. On the recommendation of my friend Andy Birch of Wolverhampton.
Oh, Andy.
Hey, long-time listener. First-time recommender. I'm enjoying the show so far. However, in episode 65, I'd argue if he's got to episode 65 that he should have made a firm judgment.
Maybe he's listening backwards.
Oh, yeah. What, like Memento?
Yes.
Oh, God, I hope he doesn't get to the end and regret it all. I'm enjoying the show so far. However, in episode 65, your pronunciation of the word pronunciation left a lot to be desired. The irony of your error will surely not be lost on you. Yours pedantically, Matt Lord. Open brackets, also pointed out by Andrew Goodwin, close brackets.
Yeah, we had 2 on that this week.
We had 2, but we felt Matt Lord's was the stronger.
Andrew Goodwin's was slightly more aggressive, which I thought was a bit too much.
What do you mean? How aggressive was Andrew? I think if your listeners are only also pointed out by, it's a kind of bittersweet moment because you've got something upheld, but you've also listened to an email that's been adjudged to be not as good as to be better than yours. So, see, I mean, if anything, it's not going to help Andrew Goodwin's aggression problems.
I think his started with capital letters and the word spelled ah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, fair enough. We'll have to get a restraining order out on Andrew Goodwin. But are we upholding? Presumably so.
Yeah.
I can't say anything wrong with that. 2 out of 3, as I said. And if you want to submit to any other business, if we have done anything wrong, email josh@xfm.co.uk.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
Last night's Glastonbury headliners, Arcade Fire there. I imagine they've woken up and they're listening in.
Hope so. Good morning, guys.
Oh, God. A good evening's work done. Now to chill out with some any other business on the Josh Widdicombe show. You've missed it, guys. Sorry, Win. And the others.
Download the podcast.
Download the podcast. They probably do. Now, we have 2 topics we want to talk about today. The first one, I don't know if you're aware of Howard Stern, the very honest American disc jockey.
Very aware.
Really shares details of his life.
Yes.
I've got athlete's foot. I thought I'd follow in his... I thought I'd fess up live on air. First time I think I've ever had it. So I had to go to the chemist to buy athlete's foot cream. It's quite embarrassing going to the chemist, because normally I just go for my Ventolin.
Right.
But there is that kind of thing of... You kind of... I mean, you are tempted to go, it's not for me, but then it's almost worse, because then you're the kind of person that's sent to buy athlete's foot cream for someone else. You're in that hierarchical a relationship with someone that you're dispatched to get their athlete's foot cream. So it's embarrassing. And I thought, well, obviously there's been more embarrassing things that have happened to people in chemists. I'd previously had to go in because I've got a wart on my finger.
Oh, you can keep that pen.
and she gave me a nail file to sand it off. Which hasn't worked. But I thought, obviously people have had more embarrassing issues than athlete's foot, so we solicited for your embarrassing trips to the chemist. People say our topics are niche. I think we've taken it up a level. Next week, maybe we'll go for all the shops, but this week, chemist and chemist alone. We're not having any non-chemist based anecdotes. Also, last week, based this is on last week's topic, which was
inaccuracies you've seen in your profession done on TV or film.
We wanted little-known facts that you'd know only through your profession that we could maybe learn. Things you've picked up that you would never have picked up if you didn't have that job. Neil?
In radio, not all the DJs choose their own music.
Is that it? Are you saying Toby Anstis doesn't choose the music on Heart FM?
You know, he's got a busy social life with Priscilla Presley, so...
Oh, yeah, of course. I've forgotten about that. We wanted the most minor facts you have about your job. Obviously, I've had many jobs. I used to work in Waterstones. Did you know booksellers are rated grade 1 to 5?
No.
Every band you move up is another 50p an hour. Made it to grade 2, and then when I left after a year, the boss said, in a year you could have been grade 4, mate. Yeah, that's how good I was. Because there's little skills you pick up in Waterstones that you don't know they're doing. Do you know those tables? You have to pyramid the books so it looks like a good pyramid.
Is there skills to do that?
There is, yeah. You've got to get the right amount of books on each... Also, each shelf has to have one book face out. This might be the most boring topic we ever do.
When you left, did you say, I've enjoyed it, but I need to start a new chapter of my life?
Oh! Yeah, I said I've had enough living it by the book, so... etc. So we're looking for those as well. Hopefully there'll be more... Well, they're probably not. They're probably going to be similar level. I think we might have said, can you tell us something boring? That should have been the topic. If that plays out, Neil, I'm putting this at your door.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast. XFM.
Saturday morning, Josh Widdicombe coasts on XFM. Plural of coast. Could there be more than one coast?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
That song's called Oceans, and it's really good.
Is that song called Oceans?
Yeah.
Can there be? Yeah, there is more than one ocean. I mean, but if you're going to call your band Coast, don't call your song Oceans. Have a day off. That's over branding.
From the album Tides.
It's not.
No.
Swell.
Currents.
Current
single.
Oh, yes. Now, we're both thinking of puns. There'll be a brief silence while we attempt to think of more puns. If you do see them, give them a wave. So, now... Oh, lovely stuff.
I'm not doing any more.
Are you not?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's your loss.
I think that one's floated by.
Oh, come on! Hand over the Sony Award now. Put out your deck chair and listen to this, Neil. That doesn't even work. Now, imagine we're on a beach.
Yeah, we need to get through this.
We do, because the thing what you've got to remember is I'm not the producer in this situation. You need to be coming down hard on this kind of stuff. I just hit my hand into my hand to show that you need to be cracking the whip when this kind. You don't need to be thinking of puns about the seaside. Yeah?
No.
You need to be king of the sandcastle, mate.
All right, I'm your peer, so let's get on with it.
Okay, right. Now, 2 topics today. 1, embarrassing things that have happened to you in chemists. 2, little-known facts about your job. Shall we have, as always, someone with 2 is always pleasing?
Yes, please.
Kate James, speculums come in different sizes. I feel that covers both questions. Now, I read this during the song. I said to you I didn't know what a speculum was. You then told me a story you can't tell on air.
No.
But you will tell at the XFM live shows in Edinburgh. August 9th to 12th. Possibly. And then you told... Well, let's explain for the listener. Speculums come in different sizes. I feel that covers both questions. Neil?
So speculum is a kind of medical instrument that...
I'm already uncomfortable.
You would put into a...
I already wish we were still doing the seaside puns.
You put it into a space...
But they've disappeared over the horizon.
So, yeah, speculum...
Did you just do the Ivo Graham noise?
No.
You just did the Ivo Graham noise.
Stop it.
Listen back to the podcast. He did the Ivo Graham noise.
Right, we're only going to have time for Kate's text in this link now. So
Okay, that's fine.
a speculum is a medical instrument. You would put it into a space and you open it up so that space becomes gaping.
Oh. So what do we think Kate James does for a job?
Looks into things.
She's a private investigator. In many ways, she is a private investigator. Right. I think we've had enough puns for one link. This is XFM.
Hey girls, Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Time for Nishipedia. Nish Kumar comes in with one of his conspiracy theories he's such a fan of. Will producer Neil allow it to go into Nishipedia? There's only one way to find out. Good morning, Nish.
Good morning. Or is it?
Will we find out? Let's see.
Experiments in inflection, Josh. I'm changing it up.
Experiments in inflection.
I'm changing it up every week.
Your autobiography.
Yeah.
So what have we got? What have you got for us today, Nish?
I've got a tasty conspiracy theory for you, Josh.
Right, yeah.
An absolutely tasty one. Adam and Eve were aliens.
That's an absolute classic. It feels very familiar. Do you know, there's a lot...
It does feel very familiar. And like a few weeks ago when we talked about is the moon fake, that's taking a spin on a classic where the moon landing's real and taking it up a level. This one takes the conspiracy theory up a level because we've all heard the theory that Adam and Eve were aliens and that, in fact, those fig leaves weren't used to cover their genitals but were their alien genitals themselves. But that's quite a common one.
Right?
This one takes it up a level. Adam and Eve were extraterrestrials who travelled to Earth aboard a space ark piloted by none other than Russell Crowe himself, Noah.
Wow, space ark.
Noah flew a space ark down to Earth containing Adam and Eve.
Amazing.
They were the first two human beings. Noah then presumably chilled out for a bit, starred in Les Mis,
Yeah.
Gladiator.
And so that's why we've got the story of Noah as well.
That's right. And so then when the time came, Noah sort of felt like, well, I'll hang around until I can make myself useful. And then there was the Great Flood, and lo and behold, his space ark came in extremely useful.
Oh, wow.
Which does beg the question.
So it's the same ark?
Yeah, it was the same ark.
Oh, wow. I just presumed the flood was a... Wow.
No. They seem to have downgraded it to a water-only
How
vehicle.
long was he around?
No, it was, well, according to this, I mean, quite a while, but he was a space alien.
Yeah, he was a space alien, yeah, of course. Dunno.
And this isn't one of my less substantiated Nishipedias either. There's quite a lot of research that's gone into this. Yeah, because it's supposedly based on, and every website I've seen has failed to use inverted commas around this, recently declassified documents.
Oh,
so I don't know what
documents.
these documents are, but the official reports these people claim prove that a flying saucer once crashed into Mount Ararat in Turkey, where it's traditionally believed that Noah's Ark came to rest after the Great Flood. So,
of course.
Presumably,
Of course.
what this spaceship crashed into was Noah's Ark, which was in itself a spaceship
Tell you
that had
what.
been used to drive Adam and Eve to
No,
Earth.
that's the last thing he needs. When it comes to Noah, it never rains, but it pours.
We shouldn't have done this week, Josh. The complaints are going to come flooding in.
Oh, yes! Yeah, 2 by 2, I imagine. Anyway.
So it's US military documents that say that an alien spaceship crashed into this
Did
mountain.
they say
in Turkey.
when? Because surely the US military weren't around.
So the declassified documents say that the actual alien spaceship crash was in the 50s. And the alien spaceship
there's a
crashed
slight
into
time
the Ark.
problem there, isn't there?
I mean, I love the fact that you're just going, yeah, that's my main issue. It's timelines. Adam and Eve being piloted to Earth by Noah on a space ark, I am on board with. I understand.
Well, let's go over to Neil and ask, do you Adam and Eve it?
I'm arcing up the wrong tree here.
Oh!
Don't know if you guys have heard of a book called The Bible.
Oh, God, this is taking a strange turn. Neil's been waiting 18 months.
I mean, some people might consider that to be a work of fiction.
Oh, well,
We're not passing judgment on that.
Nor am I.
Yeah.
No.
So is this a work of fiction as well? I don't know. I'd quite like to believe this. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Well, go with it then.
All right, it's going into Nishipedia.
Wow.
Oh, well done.
That is the first Nishipedia that will genuinely infuriate the Christian far right.
And it will be the last. We can't deal with that kind of thing.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Well, this has become a bit of a trope at the moment, but a show debutante.
Oh man,
Yeah, Iain Stirling.
I feel like it's my World Cup debut.
Yeah, well, you saw how well it went for Ricky Lambert.
I'm a bad word said about that man.
He's a wonderful man. How are you? What would you normally be doing at this time on Saturday
I
morning?
would probably be a little bit hungover in bed.
Yeah.
I try and have a drink on a Friday night. I've set my goal pretty low for life achievement. I'm going to make sure I get drunk on a Friday night.
If I can do that, if I can tick that off.
Mum, I've done it. I'm doing it. It's Friday night.
So where would you go on a Friday night?
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah.
Because you gig, don't you? Mm. And all over. So I'll try and, if I can get back to London in a reasonable hour.
You know, this is going to come across as really sad, but one of the most exciting things for a comedian, like, I genuinely, like, the happiest I ever get, right, is, say you do a gig in Portsmouth, and you're on first. Oh, yeah, can I go on first? Yeah, there's a 9 o'clock train. It'll get you into London at 11 o'clock. 2 hours, mini gin and tonics in a can, your iPod, never, and you know you're going, oh, my word.
Then you're in a pub with your mates going, a couple hours ago, I was in Portsmouth.
You're not going to believe where I was.
I was working in Portsmouth, and it's Friday night, I'm having a drink. Yeah. So I'd be doing that.
Yeah. Oh, what a life.
I feel like as my debut, I think I've smashed that.
Yeah. I think you have. Should we play the Cortinas?
Why not?
It's the Cortinas.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
That was Black Keys, Gold on the Ceiling. Bit cheap, isn't it, that kind of decor? It's about Phil Neville's house.
Phil Neville's house would not have gold under the ceiling.
It would.
You think so?
Oh, it looks like... Have you not seen the pictures of it?
No.
Oh, you put it up for sale. It's like Liberace's palace.
Oh, I did not see that coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He articulates his personalities in very different ways. Now, well, let's move on. Neil of Fortune.
Good morning, Ian.
Good morning, Neil.
Okay, so this is where I set you... Oh, I give a game for you to play if you want.
Well, yeah, for the sake of this link, we'll
we'll go with it.
We'll go with that.
If you block that,
nah, you're right, folks.
All right.
What else are we going to do?
Could you just play the Black Keys? Black Keys. Black Keys.
Make fun of Phil Neville instead. Right, come on.
Okay, so I've got 3 options of games. So the first game is called Stirling Work.
Every year I get that suggested to me for the Edinburgh Festival.
Do you?
Sterling performance, Sterling work, something along those lines.
Oh.
I like it.
Basically, apart from conquering the stand-up comedy circuit, you also present shows on CBBC. Is that
It's
right?
a difficult word to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
So I've got some true or false quotes that children have given your shows in reviews.
Oh, that would be
dear.
painful.
They are horribly honest children.
They are honest.
Have you ever done a stand-up gig for children?
Yeah, I've done it once. I didn't enjoy it.
No, they're odd.
All right, I'll cross that one off then. Game 2 is called Ian or Ian. I have a list of famous Ians, spelt I-A-I-N-S, or Ian, I-A-N-S.
Fun game.
Yeah. So basically you have to tell me if they spell
That's
their
not
name.
nothing to do with the game. You've just got that list.
Basically,
in your wallet.
You tell me if they spell their name as you do, Iain Stirling, or as say Ian Ferguson. I used to play for Rangers. And there's 10 Ians.
Is that your
total.
best example of an Ian?
Ian McKellen? Ian Ferguson?
I wanted to go for Ian Ferguson. What's wrong with that?
Is he one eye?
Yes.
Yeah. He was a good,
That's
good with his head.
That's Nelson.
Brown.
I don't think Nelson even had an eye patch, did he?
I don't know.
Gordon Brown had one eye.
Gordon Brown. That would have been a better one. I should have gone with Gordon Brown.
But what a vision. What a vision that man had.
Right, game 3.
Sorry.
But what does
I'm not going to lie to you. Whatever this is, we're probably going to go with it.
Okay, game 3 is called What Does
Lick
All...
my baby's hands clean.
I'll take it.
That can be arranged.
No.
Oh, goodness.
Game number 3.
Right.
But rather than the baby, we'd use intern Charles.
He does have filthy eyes.
You've got 5. He's going to put his hands in 5 different substances. Blindfolded, you have to guess what Charles has been handling.
Okay, game 3 is called But What Does It All Mean, Ian? That doesn't make sense. So
What does it all mean?
Mean, yeah. Mean.
Not great.
Sounds like a weird accent. Mean.
So for this game, Ian, I want you to go head to head with Josh. I have a list of 5 Scottish phrases or colloquialisms. What
was that?
You heard it the first time. The winner is the person who gets to 3 first.
I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Exactly.
Scottish colloquialisms.
Yeah.
Against an
I'm at
Englishman.
a distinct disadvantage here.
Why?
I'm not, much like you, Neil, I'm English.
I'm Scottish.
You're not. Listen to your voice. That's are you the...
Are you Scottish?
I was born in Bothwell.
No, he's not.
Where were you born?
Bothwell, Uddingston.
I would have thought you'd had the accent. Scotland, because the Scottish accent's like a bit like black paint, innit? You put a little bit in, and it's really Scottish. Do you know
Not
what I
with
mean?
Neil.
This is new music from Damon Albarn, Mr. Timber.
Okay, well, if you want to play it, then fine.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Mr. Tembo, Damon Albarn, I'm going to say it. Best song about an elephant ever. I've gone there.
What about Nelly the elephant?
What about Nelly the elephant? Yeah, that's... yeah.
It's a tough one.
Neil?
Right, we are playing, but what does it all mean? So Josh and Ian are going head to head to decipher some Scottish phrases and colloquialisms. First to 3.
Do I get first dibs on these? Because I'm not going to know.
Yeah, okay. And I'm going to use...
What are you going to use?
My gran sent me a napkin with Scottish phrases on them.
Perhaps if you were Scottish, you wouldn't need that.
I do like the idea that I thought you'd have done some work on this, but that is literally a napkin with words already written on it. That is, so you're like, oh, well, let's play this game then.
I like the way it says on the top of the napkin, old Scottish words, but it's spelled A-U-L-D.
Old.
That's how you spell it, mate.
That is how you spell it.
Unbelievable.
If I win, Scotland get independence. And we do that.
Yeah, okay, that's good. And if I win, then we get to keep you.
All right, the first one. Scunner.
The people of Scotland are really nervous at this point. Scunner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh, what does that mean?
I mean, this is an impossible game. Have I got a chance to work it out from the word?
Yeah, I could put it in a sentence for you.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
I could. I was going to. This is
Oh,
how,
yeah.
This is how I feel towards you.
Very
What?
good.
Is it a sense of enchantment?
No.
No.
Scunnered is like you're fed up of something. You've had too much of it. Scunnered.
It's correct. It's a feeling
Ah!
of disgust or loathing.
I fear this is
Boo.
going to be an Ashes-style 5-0 whitewash.
It's going to be like England's World Cup effort.
It is. Brave.
Number 2. Blether.
That's like talking rubbish, isn't it?
It is correct. Well done.
Yes!
Well, how does it? So did he get if he gets it wrong, I get to pick it up.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you turn up for a game which I'm playing with Neil.
Yeah, and I'm just verifying.
yeah. You're the Susie Dent.
Yeah.
Of the situation.
A kludgy.
Oh,
You're back in the game here.
a kludgy.
Is it a colourful budgie?
I don't think I know what a kludgy is.
I'll give you a clue. One of Spandau Ballet blocked it.
Oh, this was in the first hour. The toilet at West Midlands FM.
It means toilet.
Oh, the kludgy. I'm so annoyed at myself.
Do you know that now?
Yeah, a kludgy.
Would you say that?
No, it's proper oldie Scottish.
So would you have said the other two?
Yeah, I'd say scunnered. My mum says scunnered all the time.
And is this the proper Scotch language?
It's Scotch.
I was saying it to wind you up.
Right, number 3. Dreek.
Oh, this
Drink.
is a very good word.
Alcohol.
No.
Oh.
Grey and miserable. Dull.
Bleak.
Oh. If you'd put it in context,
Dreek.
said, you know, intern Charles's Dreek.
All right, this is the decider then.
Make it tricky.
Clipe.
Clipe.
Do you know this?
No.
Oh, yes.
Did you know it before you read your napkin?
No.
Clipe.
He was a clipe. She was a clipe.
Pilot.
Pilot.
No.
Clipe.
Second clue.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
should go to Stirling first, really, I think.
Thanks, Widdicombe.
I got into trouble because of that clipe.
Oh, is it a grass?
It is.
Oh!
I have never
Brilliant work!
a clipe.
And with that, Scotland is removed from the United Kingdom.
I'd love it if Scotland did get independence, but then the Scottish Conservatives got it.
Oh, God. I'm going to miss Scotland.
Oh, it was fun while it lasted.
It was.
I can still come around your gaff. I live in London still.
Oh, yeah. But aren't they going to, I presume they're just going to kind of chop it off and then push it away.
We're just going to attach ourselves to Sweden.
Yeah. Oh, that would be the final kick in the teeth, wouldn't it? If you ran off with Sweden. Oh, we thought you wanted independence. We thought you didn't want to be in a relationship.
We just want people with nicer smiles.
Yeah. Cheers.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
XFM, Josh Widdicombe here. I don't want to say Josh Widdicombe here, do I? Well, I have done now. Producer Neil. Producer
morning.
Neil's still there. And Iain Stirling
Iain Stirling here.
here. And now joined Mr. Ed Gamble.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. I've taken over the show already.
No, that's good. Do you know what? That's the nicest opening anyone's ever done.
There you
Thank
go.
you
Oh,
for caring.
mate.
Nailed it.
No offence. But you still haven't asked how I am. How are you, Ed?
I'm very good, thank you,
Good.
Josh.
Good. What would you normally be up to on a Saturday morning at midday?
Absolutely nothing. So you've caught me at the right sort of time.
It's easy to book.
Yeah, absolutely.
You live with Nish Kumar.
You almost forgot his name. You called him.
You
almost called him Shish Kumar.
Shish Kumar.
And
Shish Kumar.
He does eat a lot of kebabs, so that would be the perfect nickname.
I am going to call him Shish Kumar
Yeah.
from now on. How is that?
You know what? It's all right. He's an absolute mess of a human. But you know how you can get annoyed with people for being messy, and you are angry with them because you know it's sort of willful and they can do something about it. Nish can't do anything about it. His brain is a tip.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just he leaves stuff everywhere. It's like an illness. Like
Yeah.
that's just if he ever picks anything up, you've got to applaud him and give him. I'm thinking of starting a gold star chart.
So do you? Because I lived with with Tom Crane. The
Yeah,
comedian.
he's another messy-brained man.
I can't. It was. I struggled. There was certain. He once flooded the downstairs, and he woke up to them banging on the ceiling, and he'd fallen asleep in the shower. So it had flooded into the landing, and then dripped downstairs, and he was woken by them banging on
Was
the
he
ceiling.
sitting down in the shower awake?
He said he had to lie down.
Right, well,
Have a bath.
that's an illness. That's
Yeah.
not right.
So does that put Nish in perspective?
Yeah, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. I go into the bathroom and am welcomed by his pants most mornings.
Are you?
So
They're that dirty that they can do that.
Yeah, they just walk in there by themselves. They shower more than him. They're always lying on the floor. I've worked out now, in one swift movement, I can pick them up with my toe and flick them into his bedroom. Which is quite impressive.
Would you live in a caravan?
It's about rising above it, isn't it?
What,
Above
the
the
water
mess.
level?
You've just got to bob to the surface.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Churches, we sink. We could have used that with our earlier on when we were trying to come up with song titles that were naval puns.
Oh, yeah.
The show wasn't great in the first hour.
I'm glad I've swept in to come and
Save
sort
the
stuff
day.
out, guys.
Ed Gamble,
Hello.
Ian Stirling.
Yep.
Good.
Panicked. I didn't see it coming. You pointed as well.
I did point.
No, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Now, one of the topics today, I'm going to put this at Neil's door. So, Neil, we come up with two topics.
Yeah.
The first one, based on my issues with athlete's foot this week, was embarrassing trips to the chemist.
Right, I'm not going to go any further into your issues with athlete's foot. You've covered it earlier in the show, I take it.
I have, yeah.
Right, okay.
Have you had athlete's foot?
I think so, but I think I just let it take its course. Get some air to it.
I mean, all right, so you got rid of it.
Yeah, it just went.
You didn't have to amputate.
No. These are real feet. They're just yeah.
Have you ever had an embarrassing trip to the chemist?
I tell you what, I had a weird trip to the chemist last night.
Well, the word last night is...
Yeah, well, I'm type 1 diabetic, so I have to go to the chemist a lot to get prescriptions. And last night I went and picked up a prescription, but I was drunk. And that feels wrong.
And did you walk in?
I walked in.
All right.
Oi, oi!
Kick the door open. All right, boots.
So we were talking earlier about buying sheaths.
Right, okay. Shouldn't be embarrassed by that, guys.
Shouldn't be embarrassed.
No.
No,
It's the
I
most
know.
sensible thing available in a chemist.
Better
Yes.
safe than sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of things in the chemist are sensible, I suppose. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, it is the most. It's better safe than sorry. I mean, because this is more of a moral conundrum. So this was actually not in a chemist. This was in a mainstream supermarket. And
It
this
was
quite
Tesco, he told me.
a few years ago. So I can't remember which one it was. But it was 2 for 1 on boxes of sheaths.
So immediately, it's not Waitrose.
And I went to the counter, and the offer didn't ring through.
Oh, no.
So I was in a real conundrum. I think that's how they got people as well.
Yeah.
So, would you have called them on it?
Yes, I think I would have done.
Yeah.
Would you?
Oh yeah,
Would you have had the guts?
I
to
would have
do-
said, because then also, how many were in a box?
Yeah.
It's like 3. If it was like
No,
a
it's
big...
12. It's 12. isn't
Yeah,
it?
see, if you're buying 24 condoms in a go, I feel like you've got to justify that purchase.
Yeah, you can't look that confident in front of someone at a supermarket.
But I called her on it. And I was like, "Oh, they're 2 for 1."
Yeah.
And she had to get someone to come over and then go to the aisle to check the offer. And then you've got a queue building up behind you,
Yeah.
and you're thinking, should I have? But I'm glad I did it.
I'm glad you done it.
Because I was not just doing it for me.
Yeah.
I was doing it for the people of Great Britain.
You were doing it for radio.
I was doing it for radio.
What an anecdote.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Muse Starlight from the soundtrack to Starlight Express, I think. It's correct, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, on XFM. Josh Widdicombe still joined by Iain Stirling,
Yes.
Ed Gamble,
Yes.
producer Neil.
Good afternoon.
Very formal. Neil, over the last 8 weeks, have we got some rousing music?
No.
Okay. Over the last 8 weeks. Did we get some?
No.
Neil Aid, over the last 8 weeks, producer Neil, who can't afford his own Panini stickers because he has a small child, has been trying to complete the album.
That's devastating. Sorry.
It is devastating. By donations of swaps from the listeners. And now we reach the end. Neil, would you like to take up the story?
Basically, I finished it.
If we had rousing music, that would have been a needle rip.
Yeah, 640 stickers stuck in.
Well done.
Amazing.
I hate you. Oh yeah, round of applause.
Thanks.
So have you got a lot of swaps?
I have a whole heap of swaps. So
Here.
here,
I've got my book with me.
okay, Ian. Well, you can have a look through. But I've got like 5 envelopes worth of swaps just to send out to people who've donated across the course of Neil Aid.
Is there anyone you'd like to thank in particular?
Just everyone for believing.
FIFA.
FIFA, Panini.
Your child.
Well, Panini especially because they sent a jiffy bag full of stickers.
They must be over the moon with this situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet they can't believe it.
Yeah.
One final thing is, I think Neil Aid, as it's obviously been a rousing success, I'd say more of a success than Live Aid. Because we won't have to have Neil 8, will we? Or Live Aid, Neil Aid 2.
What about Euro 2016?
Not going to happen.
Okay.
What about like other sorts of stickers? There must be like
Animals.
WrestleMania sticker albums, something like that.
Oh, he's got a taste for it now. If at the end of Live Aid, Bob Geldof had gone, famine's finished.
We've done it.
We've done it.
All 640 cured.
All 640 villages have wells.
I'll be sending back fruit to people who've donated stuff.
In fact, we've got some food in doubles. So if anyone...
Too much grain.
Too many goats.
Pop another one in a jiffy bag. You'll be having some of those back.
Oh, well, there we go.
I love after a good anecdote when you do the... Oh, that's
Do you
my
want to play
favourite thing.
the Ivo Graham sound effect to end the anecdote?
Josh Widdicombe, podcast, XFM.
Bartender and the Thief, the Stereophonics. Smaller than you think in real life, Kelly Jones.
I think he lives near me. I saw him at the farmer's market across my road.
Oh, did you?
He actually lives nearer to you than you think, but he's so small.
Iain Stirling and Ed Gamble there with
Hello, XFM listeners.
Oh, hello.
showing you just what they do.
Well, I set stuff up and Ian knocks it down.
Yeah,
Both.
That's a week of scripting that took, but it sounded so natural.
Utterly worth it.
Actually worth it. We come to the point, Neil. You suggested this topic.
Did I?
Yes.
Okay.
Off last week's, which was
Oh, yeah, sorry.
little known facts about your job. Now, little known facts that you only know from your job. Now, we thought that would be a good topic. Slightly boring topic, isn't it? Because basically what you're saying is, can you tell us something dull? Shall I just rattle through 5 responses and let Ed and Ian decide?
Let's do 3. Let's not go overboard.
All right, let's do 3 and let Ed and Ian.
You've called me Neil so many
he's so
times today.
Scottish.
I know.
Ed and Ian decide whether this is good radio. This is no reflection on the people. They've responded
Yeah.
to what was set. This is just a test of Neil's
They're working with what they're
decision-making.
given.
Exactly. Phil Broadbent, a DDA complaint. Dorset must have 800mm clear opening on a refurb project.
Right.
Amy
Do you want us
Yo.
to comment in between each one, or wait till you've done?
No. Or should we have all three?
Yeah.
Right.
Amy Yo. I know quite a lot about the different card and paper thickness. It's pretty wild. Clarissa Fag. A genetic wrinkle on the earlobe predisposes you to an increased risk of heart disease. That one's actually interesting.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Just check my earlobes. Wrinkle free. Joanne Duff. A Turkish apricot harvest has taken a huge hit due to a surprising frost snap. How do we feel about this as a topic?
Well, I used to work in a shoe shop, and I've just literally thought this is. I didn't think this item was. This is good. Listen to this. When you're in a shoe shop, and someone's selling you shoes, you know sometimes they write a number or their name on the shoe box. That is because if you don't match them up right, they give them like 2 right feet or a 5 and a 6. The shop know who it was that didn't double check the shoes at the till.
Right. See, you've not proved that that's good radio.
That's like, I mean,
I find that interesting.
yeah,
Do you?
I always had people writing when people wrote numbers and names on my box.
I thought
weird.
it was going to be their phone number.
Yes. That's what it is with you, mate.
Yeah.
That's what.
You wear Converse. Yeah. Maybe we should talk about this over dinner.
Maybe we should talk about our collapsed arches.
Have you ever had a job?
Yeah, I've had for short periods of time. Yeah,
Right.
Working in pubs, that sort of thing.
Any startling facts along these lines?
Absolutely not.
Good. This is XFM.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Subway's Rock and Roll Queen. We come to the end, more or less, of the show. The end of Nearly, the end of the show. When will the sadness end? In about 3 minutes. To thank you all for coming on, you can. Do we want one more condom story?
I want a sheath-based anecdote.
One more?
Yeah.
I once needed to use a condom machine, and it didn't. I put the money in, it didn't pay out. But there was
It's not
like
an arcade. It's not a penny push machine.
Is it not a gambler?
It's not one of those.
Well, the guy,
One of the guys with all the perfumes.
yeah,
That guy.
yeah,
Right.
So he went and he got a
Lollipop and
knife from the kitchens.
No, he didn't.
Like, he came up because obviously they got stuck. So he was a bit like when a packet of crisps gets stuck in a vending machine.
yeah.
It's like a horrible, sordid version of that.
So he put the knife up inside and wiggled it about, and it paid out about 6 boxes, and I got to keep them all.
And yet you still had to go back and try and get the 2-for-1 deal at the supermarket.
Yeah.
Can we just say to the listener, don't put knives anywhere near condoms. That is dangerous.
Yeah. And I became a father the following week. Now, chance to plug. Neil,
Come to the live version of this in Edinburgh, 9th to the 12th.
you'll be telling an anecdote about...
I will not be telling an anecdote about Spandau Ballet.
Oh, that's a shame. Come anyway. 10:30, the Assembly Rooms, all the regulars, and one night Tim Key is going to attempt to shoot the flame off a candle. I mean, if that doesn't make you want to come
I'm there
to
on
the
that
show.
day.
Now, Ed Gamble.
Yes, I'm doing a show in Edinburgh every night at 9:45. Gambletron 5000 at the Pleasance Courtyard.
And I saw it in preview and it's brilliant.
Thanks,
And
mate.
No worries. Which room?
Pleasance this. It's not so much a room as a porter cabin with a fan in it.
That's the best one. Hopefully 50 fans in it.
Yeah, yes, please.
And Ian?
I'm doing a show at the Edinburgh Festival.
Can we just say, just before he plugs this, he had to Google when his show was.
Yeah.
I've written the time on the back of my hand so I
Yeah.
don't get it
Are
wrong.
you going to get that tattooed for the whole of Edinburgh? Like memento?
Let's see how it goes first. I'm doing a show. My show's called Everything. It's on at 7:15.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a time. That is a time.
It's on at
We can't-
7:15 at the Pleasance Courtyard, and I'd done it a couple of days ago in Chiswick, and it went terribly.
I have seen it go well, though. It's got a
Okay.
good show.
Well, that's good. Oh, that's...
Chiswick, the people of Chiswick.
I'm there tomorrow.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Don't go.
Don't go.
But the show's good, and you should come to it.
Okay, good.
Not just you.
Some of the
people
worst
listening.
plugging I've ever seen. Would you
Terrible.
Would you like quickly your Twitter handles?
At Ed Gamble Comedy.
At Ian with 2 I's, IAIN. Ian does jokes.
Thank you very much for coming in. It's been a pleasure. Coming up, Matt Dyson after 1 o'clock. Producer Charles, would you like to say goodbye for Neil because he's away from his microphone?
He's back. Cheers. I don't get bullied.
Bye.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.